TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond.
What's up, family? Welcome to another edition of Talk Show Kings. Oh, I'm not king at all. Hello, D. Joe Biden? D. Joe Biden.
Hey, still happy Heavenly Mother's Day. Always gonna be mom, and I'm just glad to be back with you fellas, man, and with the audience.
Put your hands on that, man. Listen, thing is cake. Listen. Only thing I can't do is my heart start beating and I can't do it. Hello and good evening, everybody in Atlanta and the surrounding Atlanta, Georgia area and throughout the airwaves. You are tuned in to another wonderful show, Talk Show Kings. Yes, sir. I'm going to introduce the Kings. Well, I'm going to let the Kings introduce themselves, and we're going to get into a very hot show tonight, starting with the King to my left.
I'm right here, King Mel. Welcome back. I'm glad to be with you guys, and we got over here
King Doc, straight from the ATL West Side. We bringing the funk today, so I hope y'all ready. I hope we bringing it today. Okay, y'all here? I hope you're ready. Come on, Lundy. Take Absolutely, and I'm King Lundy. I am going to be your host for tonight, and we're going to share some wonderful topics. But the first topic that we want to get into, and if you've not been on another country or foreign land, then you know the one I'm talking about, and that's the horrific death of one George Floyd. Mr. Floyd lost his life earlier this week to the hands of a selfish, despiteful police officer that killed him. And we know you all are wondering why, and we're going to get into it. And we're going to start off with you, Doc, because we know that you have been following this case and been following it severely. Tell the American people and our fans and listeners, how did that man lose his life and why?
Okay, Mr. Floyd was in a store and he was accused of passing a counterfeit bill. So the store owner did the right thing. They called the police. Mm-hmm. Police came. They wanted to arrest Mr. Floyd.
Thank you.
So he agreed. He didn't put up much of a fight at all. Put his hand behind his back, and they cuffed him, walked him out. Well, I can't readily recall how it went from them cuffing him to him laying on the ground with a knee in his neck. But for whatever reason, the cop was restraining him and put him down on the ground and put their knee on his neck.
Was there a need for him to be restrained? Because the portions of the video that I saw, he was going along peacefully. He was cooperating with the police officers. At what point did they have to do that, Mel?
At no point did they have to do it.
Right.
You thinking, if it's just a counterfeit $20 bill, supposedly, that's what they said. I've heard different references saying that it wasn't a counterfeit. But if it's just a counterfeit $20 bill, there was no need for you to restrain him with your knee on his neck. I mean, he was already handcuffed,
Right,
down
absolutely.
on his stomach and everything. What was the need to place your knee on his neck?
Yeah.
They
yeah.
said he was resisting arrest,
Uh-huh.
but we even have the footage that
Yeah,
shows he never
absolutely.
resisted.
Yeah.
So he put his knee in his neck. Mr. Floyd was screaming, "Mama!" He was screaming, "I can't breathe!
Wow. Yeah.
Don't kill me!" For 9 minutes, this man had his body weight with his knee on this
Right.
man's neck. Mr. Floyd passed out and never regained consciousness.
I mean,
The officer that killed him
Yeah.
supposedly had between 17 and 19 violations against him
Right.
for being too violent.
Right.
with people.
I read that. I saw that.
Yes.
And I tell you, King Mel, King Doc, I am highly upset. I want to use another word, but I am highly upset that this keeps, it's like the cycle is perpetuating itself, and it keeps on happening and happening to these young black men, to our young black men. I'm just fed up about it, Doc, and I mean, I am hot about what happened, and we just fully getting into the Ahmaud Murray case, and now this right here,
Ahmaud Arbery.
Ahmaud Arbery. Now this right here.
I mean, look, if you're looking at it from any standpoint, whether
Right.
you're black, white, blue, green, there was no need for his knee to be in his neck.
Right.
And when you think about it, right, for 9 minutes, this man was saying that he couldn't, well, for most of that, he was saying that he couldn't breathe. You had other people around you telling you that he couldn't breathe, and you kept your knee in his neck. To me, you ignored all warning signs,
Right.
and I can't see anything less than first-degree murder in my book.
Exactly.
Well, in anybody's book, simply because he told them he couldn't breathe. There's no need to physically restrain a man in that manner.
Right,
If
right.
he was fighting them, even if he was fighting, once they get the cuffs on him and get him down, he's subdued. There was 4 officers there.
Right.
There's no need for his knee to be in his neck. I even heard the mayor or the governor of Mississippi say, "Well, if you say you can't breathe, you're breathing."
That part.
Right. Yeah, I heard that.
No.
They did say that.
No, that's
Yeah,
not the case.
yeah.
Because you can let air out, but if you can't get air in,
Yeah.
then you're suffocating.
Right.
If you go underwater, you can push air out, but you can't get it in because there's none there.
Right.
So, to be so insensitive as to a man's death and to say some nonsense like that,
Right.
I mean, he needs to be voted out of office
It's
immediately.
not.
Yeah, immediately.
It's not that he's insensitive. It's just showing the racist, bigoted side of him. Because that's like saying someone who has asthma is having an asthma attack, and they're saying, "I can't breathe."
Right.
If they're telling you that they can't breathe because they're having an asthma attack, that, like you said, they're being able to push air out but not intake air. So that just goes to show you his ignorance and, like I said, his racist and bigoted side. He needs to be voted out, but he should be made to resign for even making those types of
Right,
statements. That's
right.
somebody's child, man.
Right,
Exactly.
That's somebody's father,
Right.
husband, brother, cousin, whatever. That's somebody's family. And for you to say that, I mean, that just goes to show you don't need to lead the people of any state that you're in.
The collateral damage,
Yeah,
meaning,
exactly.
meaning his family, his
Right.
friends, his loved ones. Because I have friends, I have people that I served in the military with that are just as tight to me as some of my family members.
Right.
There are people right now I could call
Right.
and say, I'm hurt. And I guarantee you that they'll be on the first thing smoking to come here to see about
Right.
me. And
Yeah.
these are not people that I was born to with a relative. These are people
Right.
that I served with in the military, and I got their
Right.
back just like they have mine. I know that beyond a shadow of a doubt. So if something were to happen to one of them over some nonsense,
Right.
I mean, how does that not hurt? What effect does that have?
Yeah.
And then for the president to be so insensitive to say that, you know, when the looting starts, the shooting starts. We need to get vicious dogs to attack people.
Right.
This is not,
right.
you know, this is not 1960. And when you were saying how angry you were,
Yeah.
that's the catalyst to the riots.
Right.
Now people don't understand. I'm a firm believer that these riots are planned by white supremacist groups or groups that want to harm the black people. Simply because if you look at the riots, there is no, I haven't seen a riot that
Right.
was all minority.
Right.
I haven't seen a riot to where the first window break or brick thrown or something
Right.
like that was done by a
Right.
minority.
It's
Now
not-
afterwards,
Yeah.
I've seen it taken up by minorities, but not initially.
But not initially start
I
off
would
with,
say-
yeah.
There's no way that anybody should look for the president to be sensitive towards this situation.
Right,
He's
uh-huh.
been insensitive towards a lot of different people, including handicapped people and
Right.
everything else. So we're not looking for him to be sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
Most of his supporters and his base are what? Bigoted, racist, and everything else. You know, that's just what it is. So it's not surprising to me that he's not sensitive towards this situation.
Right.
But I will tell you this. I seen something the other, and it was a white lady said this.
Right.
She said, it's not up to black people to fix this. It's not.
Right.
And she's absolutely right. It's not up to black people to fix this. It's up to white people to fix this, because the truth and the bottom line of it is
Right.
America has been racist since you stepped foot on this land. You had slaves, you harmed the slaves, you harmed the Indians, you killed the Spanish people in the West, the Mexicans. You
Right.
killed everybody in this country. The way it's ran now is based upon your bigoted ideas.
Now let me ask you a question, and I pose this question to both of y'all. With all of the infractions that this officer had, going back to his history of abuse towards inmates in prison, people that he's arrested, why is this officer even still on active duty on the streets?
Exactly.
I will tell you why.
Okay,
The reason being, they need people like him.
right,
See, people like him, they keep that ideal going. Remember, the cops first started, they were Klansmen, but they needed a way
right,
in order to keep Klansmen to do what they were doing. Police officers weren't created to subdue white people. They were
Right.
created to subdue the slaves, because the slaves wanted to stand up. They wanted, in case they rioted or ran away or what, they would hunt them down or whatever the case may be. It was based upon racist ideas.
Right.
Remember that movie from way back when that they had, where they had the Ku Klux Klan, the White Knights, and they had them chasing the black man, and they had a white man
Birth
in
of the Nation.
blackface, and he was supposedly, the white woman, rather than to have been touched by a black man,
Right.
she jumped off the cliff.
Birth of the
And
Nation.
yes, and the Klansmen rode after until they got him, and then they hung him, and everybody clapped. It's been based upon that idea. So
Right.
right now, if your justice system started off of that right there, I mean, where else
Now-
can it go?
Now, please
Right.
correct me if I'm wrong,
Yes,
because
sir.
you're the expert in this subject.
okay,
In the book of Exodus,
okay,
right?
Yes.
Coming from somebody who does not claim to be the most highly Christian motherfucker on the planet.
Right.
But in the book of Exodus, the Hebrews were slaves. The Hebrews were slaves, but they started to grow in number.
Right.
They started to grow in number. They started to grow in power.
Right.
So the Pharaoh, seeing this, told the midwives initially, kill
Kill
all
all
the
the-
males.
yeah,
all the
absolutely.
males that were born, to
Right.
kill them. Well, the midwives wouldn't do it.
Right.
The Pharaoh sees that this is still happening. So the Pharaoh still sees that they're growing in number
Right.
and in power. So what does he do? So he puts an extra amount of work on them.
Right.
That way they'll die.
Right.
But
Okay.
they survived and became stronger.
Right.
So now what does he do? He says, okay, we're going to take the firstborn male and throw them into the river.
Right.
Where they'll be eaten by alligators and drowned and things of that nature.
Right.
Okay. But they survived all of that. The key is that God wanted his people to be let go,
Right.
to be treated correctly.
Right.
And until they were treated correctly, he brought a famine onto the land.
right,
I'm not saying that God is doing this, but I am saying that people are fed up,
Right.
and
Yeah.
this that's happening it's going to get worse. Simply because, again, I believe that a lot of these quote unquote protests, I believe that the true protesters know to be nonviolent. Know that if you want to shoot something,
the true protesters,
if you want to shoot something,
he said the true
shoot your mouth off and shoot your hand when you go to the ballot box.
Right.
Everybody who's out there riding, I hope you go and vote. But watch when the smoke starts to clear.
Right.
They're going to find women raped. They're going to find people dead. They're going to find all kind of nonsense that's happening because of this smoke screen of the protest.
I see this, and I see all the protests going on. My problem with the protest is that I wish that our people wouldn't burn up, you know, the things in our own neighborhoods where we would have to go somewhere else and spend money in already well-to-do neighborhoods and things of that nature.
Right.
But I understand them saying, like, listen, enough is enough, and I get it. But, man, look, some protesters are the silent type, right? Then you have those who felt like Malcolm felt. Like, you know what I'm saying? Martin was nonviolent. Malcolm X was by any means necessary. The way they did that officer and charged him with third-degree murder and manslaughter, I'm going to tell you what that was. They're treating the black community like a screaming baby. That right there was for pacification, because that right there was first-degree murder. If you heard him saying he couldn't breathe, and you heard the people around him saying that he can't breathe to get off of his neck, you ignored 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't know how many warnings. And you kept your knee on his neck intentionally. And then come out the fact that you knew him from some years ago and you tried to harm him then.
Absolutely. Hold that thought. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll be right back. Stay tuned in to Talk Show Kings. This is a very important message that we're trying to get out to the people. We'll be right back.
Today's world exposes our youth to life experiences that are well beyond that which their years should allow. Violence, trauma, poverty, injustice. Our children's lives and their...
Welcome to Burke's Jewelry. How may I help you?
We're looking for engagement rings.
We offer a wide selection. However, I believe we have just what you're looking for. Burke's Jeweler is your family's jeweler at 491 Flat Shoals Avenue Southeast, Atlanta, Georgia.
Hi, I'm Michael Kyle, your funniest man on the planet, and you're watching TV 1061, your global network. Stay tuned.
Say that George Floyd resisted arrest after a reported fraudulent transaction at a store. New surveillance video tonight shows what happened before police restrained Floyd on the ground. You can see officers walking Floyd to the sidewalk and sitting him down. WCCO's Aaron Hassanza explains part of what happened after this with the help of a bystander video. We want to warn you, what you're about to see is disturbing.
Please, 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 I can't breathe.
That plea for relief is coming from 46-year-old George Floyd.
What do you want? I can breathe.
On the ground, his neck being held down by a Minneapolis police officer's knee.
Well, you got him down, man. Let him breathe, at least, man. I can breathe.
Seconds later, bystanders start questioning police. Floyd was held down for roughly 4 minutes before he stops moving or responding.
He's not responsive right now.
The officer keeps his knee on Floyd's neck for at least 8 minutes.
On to Minneapolis, Cub Foods, 3759 Chicago Avenue, code 2 for medical.
Minutes later, paramedics take Floyd to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. 9-year-old Judea Reynolds watched it happen.
All the adults kept saying, get off him.
They came and woke me up, and my daughter, only thing she could tell me was, Mom, they had his knee in the neck and they killed him.
There's a black man died, it could have been prevented. Because all I had to do was get his feet off his neck.
Less than a day after George Floyd's arrest, the 4 Minneapolis police officers involved are fired.
Public trust continues, and it must be the cornerstone of how the Minneapolis Police Department is going to build that trust and change our culture.
Being black in America should not be a death sentence. When you hear someone calling for help, You are supposed to help.
In a statement, the Police Officers Federation of Minneapolis calling for the community to remain calm until the investigation is complete, saying in part, now is not the time to rush to judgment and immediately condemn our officers. But the calls to prosecute are growing.
We are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Too many lives have been taken. Mr. Floyd should have not died. He should still be alive today.
Erin Hassanzadeh, WCCO 4 News.
Body cameras
When
were
will you be satisfied? We can never be satisfied as long as the Negro is the victim of the unspeakable horrors of police brutality.
Welcome back to the broadcast. Once again, you are tuned in to Talk Show Kings. We are bringing you the George Floyd story, young man that lost his life over a senseless crime in Minneapolis. You know, the whole world is upset. We've had a lot of high-ranking officials call in, you know, talking about it over the media. It's been all over social media. And as a black man, I sit here among two black men such as myself. We are just tired of it. We're tired of experiencing what we're experiencing from white police officers, and we just want you to call in. You know, we have a number that you can call us in if you would like to talk further about this. You can call the show at 770-485-7724. We would love to speak with you about this matter. Call in. You know, Doc is standing by the phone waiting on your calls. As we go deeper into this scenario, and it seems as though it's never going to stop. Each month, each year, each day, white officers are killing black men repeatedly for no reason whatsoever.
Brothers, I love you, but I can't just say black officers are killing, white officers killing black men, because black officers killed a white man in New York, I believe, recently. It's not about the hue, it's not about the color of the skin. Police have to understand the reason they have power is because the citizens respect that badge. They respect the position that you have, so we don't fight back. We allow you to do your job. However, what's going on right now shows you that you cannot abuse the people, regardless of who you are. The people are only going to accept so much abuse before we retaliate. And when we retaliate, then it's hell to pay. Now, I wanted to stop because black people are only 17% of the population. Okay? The Caucasian people are 72% of the population. So there's no sense in a race war. That's ignorant thinking. And if you look at the protests, there is every race in those protests. Those protests have gone over to London. Those protests, I want to say somewhere in Saudi Arabia. Those protests are worldwide. It's saying stop the nonsense. It's saying leave people alone and let people have the general respect of being a human being. The black man in America is the only citizen in America that has had laws on the book that says we are not people. They had only people in the U.S. that were treated less than the people. The reason this is going on is because of slavery. People don't understand. In order for some horrific act to go on and to be carried on, you have to see the people as less than human. You can squash a roach, but could you squash a baby? Most people no, because they see that baby as a part of them. So in order for them to treat us like that, then they have to see us as less than human. And that is because of slavery. We were taught a long time ago black people aren't human, and then we have all these Neanderthalic we have all these things. Bro, I'm getting excited, and you know how I do. I start rambling off at the mouth. Let me get to some comments. My brother Michael Fleming said that bullets are the most effective. Votes are the most effective bullets. Now I might be misquoting you, Mike, because it was up a little bit. The ballot is the most powerful bullets we have. I agree with you 100%. Everybody who's protesting, vote. Everybody who's not protesting, vote. Vote. We vote in sheriffs, we vote in mayors, governors, we vote in city council. Anytime the ballot is open, go and vote. Because we need people to know that this is not going to be tolerated. If you don't do something about it, we're going to get your behind out of office. And I'm finna start cussing because, hey, it is what it is. We ain't on public.
I mean, say what's on your heart, say what's on your mind, share it with them. Go ahead, Mel.
See, here's the thing. I'm going to have to disagree with you on one part. Listen, the voting aspect of it,
Right.
Again, you said 17%, but on the record, it is 12.6 to 13% of the population that the black people make up, right?
Right.
So, here's the thing. People say they don't want a race war, right?
Right.
Truth of the matter is, it's been a race war since the country was conceived. And if you don't believe me, all you got to do is look at the historical facts. The slaves were mistreated, right?
Right, of course they were.
Mistreated, they were killed, they were lynched, they were hung. The natives that were here, they were driven out, their land was stolen, they were placed on reservations, right? The Spanish people occupied the West. They have Indian in them too as well, right? They were driven out. They were driven, Texas was taken away from them, California was taken away from them. Why do you think that the majority of a lot of Southern California is Spanish?
Right.
Because they were already there. Now, this so-called thing about a race war, you've been mistreating people since you got here. Literally, since you got here. So, when you see people say, okay, I don't want a race war.
Right.
Nah, that's been going on. It's just being brought to the forefront now because they have more ways to capture it. But do you remember black people were being lynched and hung and they were placed on postcards. Black Friday wasn't even it was a shopping event, but it was for slaves. It wasn't that you were going out shopping for television and electronics and things of that nature.
Brother.
So it's been a race war. The thing is, like I said, the white lady said, it's not up to the black people to fix this, right? It's up to white people to fix this. And when you going out and voting, even if, like I say, even if every black person voted in America, every white person
Okay, but
voted,
let me stop you right here. We voted when we put Obama in office.
Okay.
We got out and we voted in droves.
Okay.
And I heard a guy said the other day, speaking about Obama, he said, what did Obama do for us besides Obamacare? And I'm sitting there and I'm listening to this guy over the radio, and I'm saying to myself, you know what really did Obama do with all the votes that we did get? It really didn't change anything. Because they're still killing each other.
Brothers, if you expected Obama to come in with a super suit, then you had unrealistic expectations. However, Obama did quite a lot for the African American community. When Obama was president, the unemployment rate for African Americans went down faster than it did during Trump. However, they won't talk about that because they want to do this facade and make it seem like Obama didn't do anything. I looked up about 29 things and posted it on my page. I can go there and read them to you if you like. But no, I want to get back to you, brother, because the race war. At that time in American history, the KKK stood about 3 million strong. The KKK is nowhere near that now. Now, the mentality has changed. It's not, my thing in quoting the percentage of Americans here, it's not just about black versus white anymore. Because there are several people who are saying right is right and wrong is wrong. I don't give a damn what color you are. One of my military brothers stood there with a sign that said, I did not serve in this motherfucker. I did not serve in this country for my black brothers to be killed. He wasn't black, but that sign what he put up said that he is not for the nonsense. There was a line of white women, white females, who lined up in front of black protesters so the police wouldn't harm them. It is not black and white. Wrong is wrong and right is right. And the minute Americans figure that shit out, the better we'll be. Go ahead.
So the minute Americans figure it out, right, you say the better it'll be. But here's the problem. You said back then the KKK was 3 million strong, right?
Right.
All right. So if the KKK was 3 million strong, think about this. If you're going 3 million strong with the KKK and they have on hoods and all of that nature, right? Those same people went right back to being your doctors, your lawyers, your judges, your pharmacists, your grocers, your preachers, and everything else you went to, right? Your senate.
I understand, brother. I understand.
So when you're saying it's 3 million strong, I want you to understand, if that's 3 million strong, imagine the amount of damage you can do across the country with 3 million strong. All you have to do is put them in positions of power.
So you said they're camouflaging themselves.
And that's exactly where you get. And that's exactly where you get today's Mitch McConnell from.
I'm
blocking everything.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
But you get what I'm saying.
Yes,
it just goes down the line. You put who you want to put in. And that's why the majority of them are not people of color.
Right.
The majority of your Congress, Senate, and everything else up there, they're white. They're
But it makes
not
think,
color.
think about it. Now, if you have 17% of the population, to think that Congress, which is so many represented out of each state, to think that the Senate, which is 2 people out of each state, is going to be majority colored, that makes no sense. That's not geographically even logical. But to say that all of them up there who are white are prejudiced is simply wrong, because back then they stood by and watched and didn't say anything.
Right.
Now that shit's not called for. Nobody's going to sit back and watch people being hung, people being beat. Really, that's why we have these riots today. Really. Did you see Hawkeye's granddad come out there with the crossbow?
Right.
He came out there when he came out. Nobody of color had to attack him.
No.
Watch the people who jumped on him, who stopped him from shooting at him.
Okay, now what I saw in the
I don't care what the fuck he said. Did you see what happened?
What I saw in the video that I just watched of George neck being stepped on, I saw a officer standing right there.
Exactly.
And he didn't do anything.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
He did not do one thing.
And that's why the riots are happening.
It's not,
and that's why things are going to change. I guarantee you that, because nobody wants this powder keg.
Right.
Nobody wants people going through looting and burning this and that. Because the protesters, yes. But then think about all the opportunistic people. When the protests happen, you have the majority of the police force going there. So that leaves all these jewelry stores, all these so and so forth vulnerable. Exactly. So and that's what's going on.
So at a point right now, right? You ask yourself this question. With all the terroristic stuff that has gone on throughout the world, right? Why hasn't the Ku Klux Klan been labeled a terrorist organization? Why? Why isn't the Antifa labeled a terrorist organization? Understand something. If somebody goes across, if somebody from this Muslim attacks or whatever the case may be, right? They call them a terroristic threat, right?
Right.
Boom. They didn't label Dylan Roof a terroristic threat.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because we don't vote. When Obama was president. Time out.
Hold on,
Go ahead.
What I'm saying. Do we really have to vote to label a terrorist a terrorist?
Yes.
Why?
Why? Because it's simple as this.
Why do you have to vote for that? Because
you didn't vote to label.
I'm saying you didn't vote to label Muslims a terrorist. They did it willingly. So why can't you label the people that are terrorizing people in this country terrorists without us having to vote? You did it to Muslims like it was nothing.
You said that already. Are you just trying to take up the time?
No, I just want to know what's going on.
What's going on is that the people in office that we know are prejudiced, their constituency, the people that vote for them are going to vote for them every election. The people that know that that's nonsense are not voting. There are more people that know that that bullshit is bullshit than the people that think that it's okay.
Why do you think they're not voting or not?
Because people don't believe in the democratic process. People don't believe that we can vote this, that, and the other, but we can.
Right.
America is set up for the people, by the people, which means we need to get the right people in office. If we don't get the right people in office, then bullshit like this is going to keep happening.
And it seems almost as the way the democracy is here, the incumbent always wins.
Exactly.
Seems to me the incumbent always wins. So each year they're going to vote for the same person who was in last year, the same person who was in the year before that.
If we galvanize, if we say, look, get out to the polls in masses and vote out Mitch McConnell and vote out Lindsey Graham and vote out Donald Trump, then things will change, because now the people in charge who make the laws, the man who signed the laws into law, all of them have changed. But we won't do it. We sit back and let bullshit happen and then complain about it. Beat people at the polls. I can beat you, bruh. I can beat you a lot better at the polls than I can with a billy club.
And I tell you what, Doc, you hold that thought. Mel, you hold that thought. TV viewers, we are going to take a quick break, but we are going to be right back. We're going to come back to this hot, dynamic topic. Don't you touch that dial. But before you do touch that dial, I want to introduce you to my friend. Her name is Stephanie. She's with Freedom for Families. Freedom for Families is an institution of help, power of attorney, legal advice. Call Stephanie at 678-783-6380 to get the advice that you need. Freedom for Families. Wealth Mindset is her slogan. So make sure that you contact Miss Stephanie, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Chief Gary Sparks with the Douglasville Police Department. Today we want to give you some safety tips concerning traffic stops. Take a look.
So you look in your rear view mirror and see flashing blue lights. What do? Remain calm. Yield to the right and pull your vehicle over into an off-road area that is safe for both you and the officer. Put your car in park. Remove your foot from the brake and turn the radio off. Remain in your vehicle. Have your driver's license readily available for the officer. Keep your hands on the steering wheel, visible for the officer at all times. If you need to retrieve any items from the interior, explain what you're reaching for to the officer and avoid any sudden movements. Rolling the window down completely establishes a level of trust with the officer and allows for ease of interaction during the routine traffic stop. Be courteous and polite. Be cooperative and willing to follow the officer's instructions. During a routine traffic stop, the officer will return to his vehicle to run the tag and driver's license verification and complete a citation if one is necessary. Once the officer returns and approaches your vehicle, whether or not a citation or warning is issued, please remain calm, courteous, and cooperative. Sign the citation acknowledging you agree to appear in court, and do not dispute the citation with the officer. The officer will give you a court date to explain or defend your infraction.
Okay, ma'am. Like I told you, I did clock you at 51 in a 35 mile per hour speed zone. I did issue a citation, okay? This here is going to be your court date. I just need a signature from you stating that you received a copy of this citation, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Here's your driver license.
Thank you.
Along with a copy of the citation, okay? You have any questions or concerns for me?
No, sir.
Okay, well, you have a nice day, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Following these few simple steps will help ensure a safe interaction for both you and the officer.
I hope these few tips help you as it relates to dealing with law enforcement and traffic stops. Not only in traffic stops, but in all encounters with law enforcement. We hope that all our encounters are safe for the citizens as well as for our officers. Again, we want you to be safe, and if you have any problems with the Douglasville Police Department, don't hesitate to give us a call and make your concerns known. I would add that Georgia is a right to carry state, and we hope that if you are carrying, that on these traffic stops and all encounters, please let the officer know that you are carrying. This will ensure your safety and our officers' safety. Thank you, may God bless you, and may God keep our community safe. We are one.
What's up, family? Welcome to another edition of Talk Show Kings. Oh, I'm not king at all.
Hold on, D. Joe Biden?
D. Joe Biden.
Hey, still happy Heavenly Mother's Day. Always gonna be mom, and I'm just glad to be back with you fellas, man, and with the audience.
Put your hands on that, man.
The thing is cake.
Listen.
Only thing I can't do is my heart's not beating and I can't do
Hey, TV land, TV world, welcome back to the show. You are tuned in to Talk Show Kings, where we're having big fun here on TV 1061 in Douglasville, Georgia. Thank you so much for tuning in. Before I go back into the show, I would like to give a wonderful shout out to the people that make this show happen. That's going to be our executive producer, Mr. Felix Washington. Also our media associate, Miss and the one and only Shantae Barksdale.
Thank you, Shantae.
Also to our technical director. Hey man, you got to hurry up and get back. That's going to be Mr. Marcus.
We miss you,
Gibbons.
Marcus. Hey,
and thank you, the fans, most important, for making up this show. Hey, listen, don't forget, we need the support too. dig just a little deeper into your wallets, ladies, into your purses, and send us a support gift. Send it to Cash App, and that's going to be $TB1061. Your support is needed, and I tell you what, we really would appreciate it. So help us out.
Hey, trying to
Getting
keep the
back
lights
into
on.
the show, absolutely. Diving back into the show.
Diving right back in.
Doc,
Yes.
Mel, they got some hot stuff going, coming from both directions.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here in the middle, I'm catching it all. But we are tired, we are upset, and yes, we are angry about what's happening and what's going on.
Let me clarify the point.
Clarify.
Me and my brother, we definitely have different points at times, but it's all love.
All love with the kid.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I don't like you like
look,
that.
I don't want anybody to think that I'm not for everybody. Listen,
Right.
I'm simply saying is that I would like for all of our white brothers and sisters who are fed up with the injustice that goes on across the board as far as officers are concerned. Because here's the thing. We hear a lot of people say they're good officers, right?
Right.
But when we see these so-called good officers stand there while injustice is going on, it makes us think, like,
Exactly.
where are they at?
Yeah,
and you don't
exactly.
want a civil unrest to really happen because that's when a lot of innocent people
That's right.
start getting hurt. But you're tired
Exactly.
of people saying they're good officers, they're good officers. Where are you at? Because you do not stop your constituents from doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can only speak for me and mine. But if it was my daughter, my lady, if it was me, I don't know if I would try to resist as much.
Yeah.
But my woman or my kids,
Yes.
there's no way in the world I can sit and watch an officer beat them. I just couldn't.
I
couldn't do it. I'm not saying I'm Superman and I'm going to go and whip up the
No,
justice
but you
system.
are.
I'm probably going to end up dead or in jail.
Yeah.
But there's no way. If he had his knee on that man's neck and the man is screaming, people are recording this for 9 minutes.
Yes.
Somebody should have stepped up.
and said something.
Get your knee out the man's
get your knee out
neck.
the
You hear the
man's
man
neck.
can't breathe, and if it kept going, then get physical if you have to. Because we can't allow this to keep happening. Nobody deserves to die over nonsense.
Right.
Here's the problem with that. though. You had somebody. I heard someone say, "Oh, what happened to the people filming it? Why didn't they do anything?" Here's the thing: if that female or that guy
Would've
who was
have
filming
did
ran up and did it,
anything. Yeah.
they wouldn't ended up shot. And
Yeah,
then the officer, then they would have said the
absolutely.
officer was
Right.
justified
Right.
because that person attacked the officer. But you had 4 officers there, right?
Right.
It's just like if you're going to pan subjects right quick. The one that happened in NYC, where the officer drove his car into the crowd behind the barricades.
Right.
They were protesting behind the barricades, and he ran his car into the crowd. I mean, where does it end?
Look, to you officers, to you, and you know the ones, you know exactly who you are.
Exactly.
If you can stand there and wear a badge and take an oath and watch another man get his life pressed out of him, and you standing there, I wish I could be face to face with this officer that's standing on camera. First of all, for you all that did not know, they beat him in the back of that car. There was another videotape that came out. They actually beat him in the back of the car before taking him back outside of the car to the ground.
I didn't
And
see
the
that. That's
same
my first time hearing that one.
officer, the same officer stood there and watched this officer put his knee in this guy's neck, throat area for 9 minutes, then open his mouth. He's looking. How could you do this if this was one of your family members?
For officers, I don't know how it is, but in the military, we take an oath that we will defend the U.S. Constitution against any adversary, both foreign and domestic.
It's a brotherhood.
So exactly. So
absolutely.
I don't know the police oath, but I believe it says something similar. If you are a man, if you have testicles, and you sit and watch somebody kill somebody, and you know it's unjust, and you do nothing, you need to grab them things and check them. You need to go see about maybe transgender surgery or something, because something is wrong with you. That should sit in your mind, and I hope that anybody that watches that nonsense, I hope it haunts you. I hope it haunts you, because you should know that wrong is wrong and right is right.
Absolutely.
Period.
Absolutely.
Period.
But people.
Absolutely.
you know, they
The
don't
respect
want
for the
to
bag.
see that, man. Like what you're saying right now, they act like they don't see it. They turn a blind eye.
I don't want to get involved in it.
You know,
you're already involved in it, man.
It was a guy, what was it, the officer in Tennessee, the chief, he told this police officer, he said, if there's anybody right now that doesn't see a problem with what happened to Mr. Floyd.
Right.
He said, if you don't see the problem, if you don't see the wrong right now, turn in your bag.
Right now. Right.
Turn
Absolutely.
in your bag.
Right now.
And that's what should
to.
happen because, man, enough is enough. I mean, and I hate to say this, and I don't want it to happen, but they're not going to be satisfied if they don't do something about it until people start doing things to officers and stuff out the blue.
That's
and
right.
You know why?
That's right.
Because you did nothing which provoked this hornet's nest. And when I tell you, if you've ever been stung by a hornet or a wasp, a yellow jacket or whatever, you know, disturbing that nest can cause major issues.
Check this out, right? Okay, when lost my daggum, lost my thought that quick. I feel you. When they arrested him, right? He didn't do anything. When they put him on the ground and put their knee in his back, he didn't do anything.
Right.
People are doing this out of respect for that badge and that uniform.
Right.
When that respect is lost, all hell is going to break loose.
I'm telling you.
In Milwaukee, I've heard, now I got to check on the fact check it, but I've heard that they've declared martial law. I think that's what a lot of the supremacist group wants to happen. Because now you can kill people and it won't even be investigated.
Absolutely, yeah.
If you look across the West, a lot of police chiefs are marching with the protesters.
Right.
Those people, the fire chiefs and the police chiefs, when they march with those people are being violent. There was a police officer in his car drove up to a protest, and this woman was crying and talking, and he listened to her, put his baton in the car, closed it, and locked the door, and marched with the people.
Wow.
March with the people. Yeah. There was no violence in that because right is right and wrong is wrong. It's about being an American.
But you seen what happened. What we said earlier about Donald Trump not saying anything, right?
Right.
But listen, people were protesting outside the White House.
Yes.
You know what he said?
Oh, yes.
They were just out there to cause trouble.
And
we don't see the ball on attention to the fact that the country is hurting. You're trying to pacify people with he's been arrested. What about the other three?
Brother.
What about all the other cases across the country? What about the ones where you won't allow people to be, you want to allow them another day in court so their DNA can prove that they haven't been there so they won't be subject to the death penalty. You don't want to do this. What's that guy's name where they stalled the execution right there? Was it in Louisiana or Alabama or somewhere just not long ago? They stayed his execution because some evidence wanted to be presented or whatever to exonerate him.
Alabama.
My thing is,
no, in Alabama they executed him.
What I'm saying, my thing
There
is,
was another guy.
Oh, okay.
my thing is, you see stuff like this and they know that they're wrongfully convicted, but you don't want to set them free.
Let me ask this right here.
Go ahead.
Why are the protesters throwing bottles and knives, even right here in our own backyard in Atlanta? Why are the protesters throwing bottles of water and knives at the officers here?
Think about this for a second. Look at those protesters. Watch the videos and see who's doing that.
Right.
They're throwing bottles and knives because they want the police to use deadly force.
Okay.
When the police use deadly force, then watch how the crowd is going to change in its multiracial facet.
Okay, so that makes them get angry enough to start looting.
It's not about the looting.
But that's exactly what
the looting, the throwing of knives and bottles, the throwing bricks.
Right.
All of that is about trying to get the cops angry enough to retaliate. Once the cops start to retaliate, all that stuff is going to stop because the instigators of that are going to fall back. They're going to get what they want, and that they're going to get the police to start assassinating people, and that's what they're trying to do. But I want to talk about Trump, but we got to go to break. Oh my goodness, I'm crunk.
It seems like we are taking 100 breaks, but we are going to break because we got to pay some bills. Hey, listen, family and friends. If you're looking for that wonderful piece of jewelry, perhaps a diamond ring or a diamond necklace, the cream of the creme, Burt's
Cream
Jewelers,
of the crop.
there in Decatur, Georgia, on Flat Shows Parkway. If you need some jewelry, go over to Burt's. And by the way, tell him.
These diamonds ain't fake, bro.
They're not fake.
These ain't fake.
Tell them Talk Show King
I'm just
sent
saying.
you. We'll be right back.
I'm just saying.
Y'all are funny.
Hey, it's just the truth, bro.
316 in East Atlanta Village. Welcome to Burke's Jewelry. How may I help you?
We're looking for engagement rings.
We offer a wide selection. However, I believe we have just what you're looking for. Burke's Jeweler is your family's jeweler at 491 Flat Shoals.
Are you an artist, a writer of spoken word? Do you have content ready but need exposure? Get to know me. I'm Alicia, host of a new Facebook live stream show called The Flavor, where we promote local and international talent of all genres. Here are some rules and regulations to the videos that we'll be accepting. They must be radio ready, no cursing, no lewd language. You must send us contact information as well as a YouTube link to your video so we can extract it from there. Email us at 1061tv@gmail.com, and we thank you for your time. Are you an artist, a writer?
Are in constant danger. Wisdom Inc. is a community-based organization designed to save young lives by reducing violence and assisting youth in their personal development. Wisdom stands for wise individuals structuring and developing youthful minds. Through our collective wisdom, we can change lives for the better. Wisdom Inc., reducing violence.
Hey, family and friends, welcome back to the show.
Welcome
You are
back
tuned in once again to Talk Show Kings, one of the hottest shows in metropolitan Atlanta and all around the surrounding areas. And we're over the air on your airways. Tune in every Sunday, 6:30 p.m. and watch your Talk Show Kings. We're going to get into some comments. We got a lot of people that has chimed in. Please forgive us, for not answering the chimes. But also, we have a number that you can call where you can chime in and talk to the Kings live.
770
Tell them, Doc.
485-7724. I posted it twice in the timeline, and I'm actually surprised that the phone hadn't blown up.
Absolutely.
Okay, now, Tay, my niece is watching, Mika's watching. Hey, Mika, we love you.
Hey, Mika.
Barry, what up, B? Thank you for watching, family. Shamika says hi. Michael Fleming, that's my brother, too. He's watching. Christopher Freeman, hey, Chris, we thank you for watching. MJ watching, as always. Robert Hughes and Tyree say, what's up, fam? Kenya Williams says, what's up, cuzzo, talking to Mel. Kenya Williams.
Okay.
That's Mel's cousin. We elect sheriff. That's my brother. I already read that. Mike. Hey, cuzzo. Oh, you already spoke back. That's me. Good talk, Kenya Williams. Thank you. John Page. What up, John? Appreciate you. One of the best hydraulic troops you ever want to meet right there. That cat ain't no joke on no 130. Marcus Ford. The system is rigged. Votes matter, but it has to be one of many tools used to bring about some change.
That's right.
Marcus, I agree wholeheartedly, because we need to get the right people in office. So we need the right people to run. We need a younger Congress that don't have that same mindset of this nonsense that we're going through right now. I believe that wholeheartedly. We need to get a Congress that believes that congressmen should have term limits, and B, that Congress should not be able to vote themselves raises of 50%, and 3, that they should not be able to get the same amount of money for the rest of their life from retiring from Congress. They already don't work but 3 days a week. My brother Mike says, in metropolitan cities, our numbers are high enough for us to control the political and economic base, but we don't vote enough to control it. Say that, bro. Say that. We need to vote like a crazy. We flipped Congress when Obama came in, but didn't show up for the midterms. Exactly. We went from a Democratic to a Republican, and then Mitch McConnell, the person he is, he held our hands. Obama's opposed legislation, but it was rejected by the Republican Party. Exactly. That word that means moot, the word that means you can argue over and over, filibuster was used more times during Obama's pregnancy than in the history of the U.S. Congress and the Senate presidency. Yes, Michael Fleming, Congress controls commerce. King and Rosa Parks declared an economic protest by boycotting illegal busing. Stop buying products made in Republican states. I ain't mad at you on that one. Good points both ways, guys. Talk it out. Marcus, thank you, Marcus. Oh, yeah, we're going to talk it out. It ain't nothing but love between us. Our vote never stops voting. Our vote never stops voting.
who we vote for, vote every day on local and national policies. I agree. I put the number out and said call, but the phone hadn't ring.
Right.
I'm still going through. I'm trying to get through all the commercial about what should do at a traffic stop should include your rights. Otherwise, it's bullshit. Hey, the police chief of Douglasville, he helps those and he watches. So hopefully he'll see your comment, bro, and revive it if it's bullshit. Lee Hayes, thank you for watching. Mike, we need to have our own citizens review board to try these cases through the local community officially, or not to show we have convicted these cops. Data and facts win. At least we would have our own record account of these moments. I agree wholeheartedly. We need a separate record of what's going on and how much it is going on.
I mean, we say separate records or whatever, right? But I mean, it's really hard to really just say that that's what we need and we're going to get it done even by voting, because the government does a lot to scenes to hamper or stifle, people's votes. They find ways, like in Florida, my state, where I'm from, they went on where they were giving felons the right to vote, right? Then they came right back and voted that in order for you able to obtain your rights, you have to, after you done your time or whatever, you have to make sure you pay all your restitutions and fines and court costs beforehand. Now, we don't
before you do what?
Before you can actually be able to vote.
Okay,
so at first, it was able to get it back in, right? Then you came and made another way to make it even harder for them to be able to do it. So, I mean, the government finds ways to hamper things on a local, state, and national
When
level.
you say the government, that's the point I keep I keep trying to make. We set who the government is. If we have a person in government and they write that law, they don't need to be reelected. They don't need to be government anymore. We need to get them out of office. That's the point I'm making, is that we allow things by not voting. Nonsense. Trump, Biden said, if you don't vote for me, you not black. All these people got all upset and Twitter pated and this, that, and the other, right? But if you don't vote for Biden, then Trump people are going to vote for Trump. If Trump went up on the top of Stone Mountain and started throwing puppies off today, his people are still going to vote for him. So if you let that comment not allow you to vote for Biden, then you just putting Trump right back in office.
Okay, now I was listening this week, and they were saying that the statement that Joe Biden did make, he was losing ground as far as the black voters are concerned. And Reverend Al Sharpton went on the record to say that if Biden wanted to get those votes back, remember we spoke last week, he did have to pick a black vice president, female black vice president, to put her on the ticket.
Brother,
now this is what Al Sharpton said.
Now, Al Sharpton don't run nothing separate mouth. But let's say that he doesn't. Do we put Trump back in office because of it? Do we let that statement?
Of course not.
That's what's going to happen, though.
Of course not.
Because no matter what happens, Trump people are going to vote for Trump, regardless. So we can go through all this nonsense and talk about why we shouldn't vote for Biden and why we shouldn't this, that, and the other. My choice, I would put Yang in office with Cuomo as his vice president. But that's not an option. Okay? So if that's not an option, I'm not going to put Trump back in office, regardless. There's no way. So, we can say that if this happened and that happened, but if we put Trump back in office, shit's going to get a lot worse. Because he's the one who sold all this damn division.
Whether he has a female black person or he has Andrew Cuomo or whatever, whoever he has. I wish. The bottom line is we can't allow Trump to get back in office.
Exactly.
With that being said, I would like for not just the black people, but the American people themselves. I would like you guys to familiarize yourself with the policies. And if you don't know the policies, then have someone who does break them down to the point where you can understand them.
Okay. So you got to understand the policy.
Not everybody's going to be able to understand everything from a political standpoint. It has to be broken down in the layman's terms sometimes. And I understand that.
Let me hit both of you all with something.
Hit us.
George Floyd, who was killed. Did you all know that the officer that killed him He worked security with this officer as a bouncer.
I heard that.
In a club.
17 years straight.
17 years.
So they knew each other.
To the American
Yes.
people, they knew each other.
Yes.
This was not a random act of they didn't know each other. So you got to start thinking and put two to two together.
Meditated?
Exactly.
They worked together. This same
17
officer
years.
that put his knee in the throat of George Floyd, they worked together for 17 years
Exactly.
as nightclub bouncers.
So he
and
knew.
there you have it.
So-
right here on Talk Show King.
I like the way you did that.
So I'm
Now,
saying, so could possibly, if there's anybody with information about their prior relationship, would come forward and let us know if they had any animosity
Right.
previously, because there's no way you can know somebody for 17 years and leave your knee on their neck for 9
The
minutes
moral of the
without
story
feeling some
is,
type of way.
the moral of the story
But-
is there's a story before the story.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
But to
Be
me,
ready
that
for
just, that just takes it from this
Right.
whole argument of it was an accident. It
Absolutely.
wasn't an accident. To
Absolutely.
me, there's no way you can hold somebody, you can choke somebody for 9 minutes and call that shit an accident.
And
There's
you
just no
know
way.
them. You know
Whether I
them.
know them or not. You don't choke
Exactly.
somebody for 9 minutes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Say it's an
Yeah,
accident.
yeah, you
That's
don't.
bullshit.
There's something
You don't.
else. But they always
There's
say,
something else.
They always say there's 3 sides to a story.
That's right.
His side, her side, and the
There's
truth.
that side, and then there's the truth.
Yeah,
So we just trying to
absolutely.
get to the bottom.
We
of it.
just trying to
But
get.
either way,
Hey, look.
I think that it should be first-degree murder.
We are
I don't agree with
we
the
are
third.
just
all the way around.
Doc, myself, and Mia, we all are just broadcast journalists,
Exactly.
and we're bringing it to you as we get
Exactly.
it.
Family.
That's all we doing.
If you're going to protest,
Yes.
then please end the protest early.
Right.
Please make sure that your protests are
well, the mayor
non-violent.
has a curfew now at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, come on now. Hey, I'm
because
from the west side of Atlanta. You can do
Absolutely.
whatever you want to do. If I want to be out, I'm going to be out.
You gonna be
I
out.
know Atlanta
Okay.
too well.
I mean,
I know Atlanta too well
Right.
I would survive.
for somebody to tell me I have to be in
Hey,
and
Donna.
it to be enforceable. It's just not really
Okay,
possible.
so she has it in. So
She can say what she like, and
Okay,
they
I
can
got
try
it.
to enforce
Okay,
it.
I got you.
But people can be out.
Okay.
If people want to be out,
I mean,
they will.
I mean, because
But
even
my
last night
point
they were
is-
still out after 9
Of course.
But this is
My point is obey the law.
Right, I
Right
got it.
now,
Okay.
I'm saying protest during the daytime. When the polls open, vote like crazy. Vote
Yeah,
every time.
yeah, absolutely.
And don't stop after one election.
Yeah.
Don't stop. Okay, we vote in congressmen and senators every
Right,
2 years.
right.
Don't let 2 years pass and then you don't vote in the next 2
Right.
years. Every time the poll opens, if the police chief does not act like he should, vote his ass out of office.
Right.
If the mayor talks crazy, vote their ass out of office.
Right.
If the governor, vote his ass out of office. Now, Keisha, excuse me, Mayor Lance,
Oh, girl.
no disrespect intended. I
Right.
hope by me calling you by your first name, you weren't offended. If you were, I sincerely apologize. However, she's on TV.
Right.
She's talking sense. She's talking common language
Right.
to common people, saying, stop the nonsense.
Right.
Saying that Atlanta is different than most places. In Atlanta, that Bentley going down the highway,
Right.
that has a black man in it.
That's right.
Sometimes.
That's right.
A lot of
Good.
times.
Yeah.
That
Right.
Rolls Royce,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm saying that we own a lot of stuff. So to sit
Right.
and burn up and tear up our own things is
Now,
ridiculous.
that's something I can touch on right there. I don't believe that we should destroy our own community.
We shouldn't.
Hold on. Before I say what I'm
Right.
about to say, listen, do not go out and do this. But me personally, if it had been my child and you did that to my child, I'm not burning down AutoZone. I'm not burning down, I'm not crashing CNN. I'm burning down your house. See,
Bro, I knew exactly what you were about to say.
See, because the problem is,
Right.
you tear up things in your own community,
Right,
and then you go out,
Absolutely.
and you have to shop in these other well-to-do places
Right.
and spend money there. Therefore, you're not patronizing your own people's businesses.
Exactly.
You're just, these companies, they have enough money to replace the stuff, no
Exactly.
problem.
Right.
But you seen what happened with the reporter with CNN, how the white reporter, all he did was ask for his credentials and he let him go, but then the black and Latino person and his crew, they detained them for an hour, even though he seen their credentials, and he said, we're live on
Right,
the air.
right.
You know, CNN had to call out like, no, you need to let him go. He showed you his credentials. He
Right.
was live on the air.
Right.
Live as fuck. But you see the difference between how they treated the white reporter. And the white reporter himself said, yeah, I received very much a different treatment, and it's not fair.
Right.
Because he said he showed you his credentials and you still didn't believe him.
Right.
There's a black business owner who was standing out in front of his business crying
Right.
because they had broke into it, and I don't know if they set it on fire, but he was saying, I'm from the same area you're from.
Yeah. Right.
I spent my entire life building this, and for you to come and destroy it.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going through the same
Yeah.
thing you are,
That's
and now
the
you
best part
destroyed
about it, yeah.
my livelihood
Right.
over something that I'm on your side over.
Right.
We
There's a
got to realize what's going on,
Right.
who's
We do.
causing what, and we got to handle this smartly.
But there are some people, and I'm going to say this, some of y'all just want to be seen.
Yeah.
You don't
yeah.
even
Exactly,
know why
opportunist.
you're just out
Yeah.
there, like you said, you're opportunistic. You're like a pathogen.
Yeah.
It just sucks that we have these people that are among us, man. You know, you have
Absolutely.
those who are protesting for a cause,
Uh,
and I get it, but you're just destroying businesses just to say,
Right.
oh, I threw a bottle, I threw a brick.
Yeah.
You want to be able to say so in this age of social media.
Don't
Why
forget
would you
Hawkeye
break
Black
into the
Granddaddy.
eight?
Talk about him.
Why would you
Hawkeye
protest?
Granddaddy.
Why would you protest, Doc Mill, and break into an AT&T store to steal iPhones?
Why would you do
Or
that?
phones, period.
Because
They
you're
say
an
that,
opportunist and you're
Absolutely.
now,
Those are not the real. To me, those are not the real
those are just
protesters.
opportunistic
Absolutely.
thieves. You want to loot and
Right.
say you stole from Apple, but what if you can't get the phone activated? Then you just did it for nothing.
Yeah.
But you know, whatever.
when the crowd wanted to march to the Capitol, when they were saying they're going to go to the state Capitol,
Yes, sir.
and some people didn't know the direction,
Yes,
they let
sir.
you know off the rip. They're not from here.
Yeah,
Our
yeah.
Capitol has that big
Yeah,
old
yeah,
dome
exactly.
that's
Everybody know
gold-plated.
where the Capitol
Everybody
is.
here knows
Yeah.
where the Capitol
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
So they're not from here.
That's right.
They're just doing things here.
But you-
Now,
yeah.
I do want to talk about Hawkeye Granddaddy.
That's right.
Talking about the
Now-
guy with the bow and arrow, yes?
Yes,
Yeah.
he
Him,
gets
that
out
guy.
his car
Yeah.
with a bow and arrow.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you know anything about a bow. A bullet, when it hits, it might change direction. If it's a hollow point, it's going to
Arrows
open
don't
up
do
and it's
that.
going to slow down. Arrow won't do that. An arrow
Right.
will go through people and keep going.
Yes.
Now, I'm so glad he didn't get a shot off. But he
got
got
a
the
shot
crowd.
off.
No.
Yeah, he did. He got a shot off.
I didn't see that.
When he turned around and he had the bow, when he aimed over the car. When he turned around, it was a guy rushing, a white guy, and he let it and dropped him right at his feet.
I did not see that.
If you look at the video, the guy fell right at his feet.
If that's the case, then he should
Right.
go to jail for
Oh,
murder
he did.
if he killed him.
The officers backed off and let the people stomp him out and set his car on fire, and they arrested him.
But if you look,
Now, this was a
If you
protest
look-
about.
yeah, no, well,
on
he was
TNT.
going to fight the protester.
Okay.
He went in the crowd with a bow and arrow, right?
Okay.
And the crowd subdued him. They jumped on him.
Was it racist?
And
Oh,
yes,
okay,
definitely.
gotcha. Okay.
And then after they jumped on him, when they freed him, when he was, when the crowd stopped stomping him out,
Right.
he was interviewed. He said, I was sitting in my window and I was yelling, "All lives matter," when two black men came up and beat me in my window.
Wow.
After he seen video
Right.
with his bow and arrow trying to kill people.
Right.
Beat him.
Exactly. The thing is, though, will they take that narrative that he said and run with it to try to tarnish the protest?
But
Okay,
That's
gotcha.
what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
But there's also, listen, that's not even the only thing. You had to see. It was a pastor that was arrested, a youth pastor that was arrested in a hotel, right?
Right.
And he said, rather than to admit why he was being,
Yeah,
he
I
said
saw
two
that too.
black guys kidnapped him
I saw
and
that
took
too.
him to the hotel.
Yeah.
He was a white youth pastor, and the lady, another lady in Florida,
Right.
they have video. She pushed her autistic son into a canal and he drowned. She said
Yeah.
black men snatched her son and kidnapped and drowned. And she was on video pushing her son into the canal.
Wow.
And that's why they should get charged with hate crimes.
Yeah,
Right
yeah.
now,
Exactly.
Georgia has no hate crimes.
That's right.
However, there's
Right.
a man running for office.
Yes.
And he's running for office, and one of his things he's saying is Georgia needs to
Yeah,
have
yeah,
hate crime laws.
absolutely, yeah.
It does.
The biggest thing about
Yeah.
voting, don't vote for Republican,
Yes,
don't vote for Democrat, vote for policy.
Yes.
Who's saying they're going to change things the way you want to see them done?
Right.
We got to pay more attention to that. Because if you just blindly vote Democrat
Yeah.
and blindly vote Republican,
Yeah.
now you're getting the Mitch McConnells.
And that's what
now
I
you're
said.
getting
Yeah, absolutely.
in my opinion, the Bill Clintons. You're
Right.
getting people who are taking money
Yeah,
from
they
big businesses and making laws
Right.
so those businesses can
Right.
prosper instead of
Exactly.
looking prosper.
Even the
Instead
Clintons
of
had that
looking
law.
at the
What was
people
that?
and what's best for the people.
Right.
It was the Clintons who changed the law about going to prison or something like that. They came up with that law that had people incarcerated. You had to do like
They started
85%.
mass- they started
You had to
mass
do-
incarceration.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
Florida. Yeah, in Florida,
Yeah.
you're doing 85% of your time off.
Right,
That's what
right,
it is.
right.
But like you said, vote for policies. And like I said, a lot of people don't understand them, but get someone who does understand them to be able to, in your local community centers and on your Instagrams and on your Facebook live feeds, break these things down for people, the younger people, the older people who may not be as well learned as some of the younger people, because education has changed.
We definitely need to talk.
You definitely need to do that. That's why I say, you know, when you have these kids in the community, pull together, man, and instead of buying all these big fancy cars and stuff, man, help get these kids through college so they can come back and build up the communities.
My brother, who's my mentor, who's one of my mentors, Mike Fleming, says we're not only voting for a president, we're voting for representation and the party that will address our community's agenda. Marcus Forrest says, and the video when we was talking about the things that was happening. We got to go. The show's over. Man, I still got stuff I want to say.
Like I'm about,
Absolutely.
Should I break? Should I cry?
And I tell you what, we are going to, if God be willing, we are going to see you right back here next Sunday at the same time with some more incredible, amazing, dynamic topics.
I'm so surprised we didn't get any calls. I really am. I just knew Alphonse was going to call.
Probably
as much crap as he talked.
First time out.
But it's okay.
Absolutely.
Keep it circulating.
And
put it on your page.
The fans, again, write the number down. Keep the number logged in. So next Sunday, feel free to give us a call here at Talk Show Kings. That number again is 770-485-7724. We'll be more than happy to speak with you. We're going to close the show out. King Mel.
Hey, man, I just want to give a shout out to all friends and family who watch, all of our supporters, all of our viewers. We thank each and every one of you guys. Without you, we wouldn't be able to do this. So, you know, from the bottom of my heart and all the Kings, just want to say thank you, man.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, we appreciate you, brother.
King Doc.
Of course, I want to give a shout out to my father, Mr. Kenneth Moore Sr., who gave me my ideas of responsibility.
Bless you, sir.
I want to give a shout out to my mother, Miss Regina Janet Schofield, who gave me my silly, my shero, Miss Valerie Sanford, my sister, who left the house at 14, didn't go back. Now, I can't say that everything she did I approve of, but I can say that she's strong and she's a survivor. Some of the things that she went through would have broke so many people, but she survived it. I want to give a shout out to my daughters. I love you with everything I am, and I hope that you always know that. I want to give a shout out to baby girl, who's my heart.
Absolutely.
I can't even say baby girl without smiling. Girl, you know you're everything to me. I want to give a shout out to all of our fans. Hey, Mike, thank you for watching, bro. Thank you for
Mike.
commenting. Marcus, thank you for commenting. Robert, thank you for commenting. Reed, thank you for Mika, Angie. All of our fans who watch us and comment, we appreciate that. I got to give a shout out to my military brethren, because now they're deploying the Guard and a military out into the field. Remember your oath. Remember, I don't care what anybody says, remember your oath to protect the American citizen and the Constitution against enemies, both foreign and domestic. To shoot into a crowd of armed people is wrong. And I don't care who tells you to, know better. Don't commit treason because of an order. Much love, family, and watch your battle, buddy.
You also tell
Absolutely. Also, I would like to say a special shout out to my beautiful mother, Miss Geneva Lundy. None of this would be possible if it were not for you. I pray for your health and strength every day. I pray for my siblings, and I pray for our many fans that watch this show. Also to my church family, my pastor, also to Talk Show Kings, the Kings that are not here. Also to Talk Show Divas. That's a wonderful show that airs before.
Thank you,
Give them much love. You know, they're coming back together. You know, absolutely. God is just blessing them in a dynamic way. Talk Show Divas, we love you so much. And to my best friend in the whole wide world, Natalie. One love, you know who you are. Without you, I tell you what, I just wouldn't be me. Also, the people that make this show, our executive director, Mr. Felix Washington, Ms. Shante Barksdale, and the media. Also, technical director, Mr. Marcus Gibbons. Hey, we wouldn't be here without you all. Once again, we're going to close out. Send us a love offering. Send us some love. Send us some money. Cash App, $ TV 1061. We sure would appreciate you guys. Outside of that, from Doc to Mel, Talk Show Kings, we have been big fun here on TV 1061. And we out.
Yes.
think, fam? Let us know. What's up, family? Welcome to another edition of Talk Show Kings.
Oh, I'm not king at all. Hold on, D. Joe Biden?
D. Joe Biden.
Hey, still happy Heavenly Mother's Day. Always gonna be mom, and I'm just glad to be back with you fellas, man, and with the audience.
Put your hands on that, man.
The thing is cake.
Listen.
Only thing I can't do is my heart start beating and I can't do
TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond.